what I'm seeing right now in the world is I'm seeing a lot of agitation and people getting in each other's faces and being very picky. And I don't know that, I'm sure many people have good intentions, but I don't know if people realize that this environment that is being created of massively critiquing and criticizing like literally everything people say, and not just criticizing it like, oh, let me correct you and having a conversation, but having it be like way volume to a 10, like I'm going to correct this, and this, and you are garbage as a person because you didn't say what I wanted you to say the way I wanted you to say it, and now you're basically scum. And I don't like to see this in my environment. I don't like to see people speaking to each other in a dehumanizing fashion. And I don't like to see the fear in me that it creates. And I don't like to see the fear in other people that it creates. So I don't like this. However, I am resisting the urge to ball up in my bed and put a cover over my head and shut up and never say anything publicly ever again, because I don't think that that is the answer for me. I don't want to let people have that kind of control over me. And I really do believe that so much of this has been created over this past, probably since 2016, when Russian trolls and bots first started to be attacking the American election and other elections and other things by immersing themselves in public conversations online and creating certain kinds of dialogues, whatever would push the most buttons, whatever would cause the most divisions, whatever would have people attacking each other, whatever would just create this polarity where we not only disagree on things, but we now instantly decide someone is evil or bad or whatever because of the issue at hand, okay? And honestly, the Russians don't give a crap what the issues are. They don't care about the people involved in any conflicts. They just want you to fight. So I'm bringing this up because when you can see the big picture that this has now tainted the public discourse to such a degree that just, regular people have mimicked different lines and this style of dialogue, that it creates this awful cultural rifts and this criticism and this fear. And when you're living in an environment like that, as someone who has lived in an environment like that growing up, I know how it can affect your nervous system. I know how it can affect your psychology. I know how it can affect your sense of safety. And your creativity is one of the first things to go. And I've been, hey Misty, your creativity is the first thing to go when you're in an environment where there's fear around you, where there's conflict around you. And for many of us, we get defense mechanisms. We get things that come up that try to protect ourselves. And for me, one of those has always been to kind of separate and go in and hide a little bit and just be like, okay, I'm going to go zone out, escape this situation in my own world. And writing was my way to do it. But over my life, I've found my own power in these kind of situations to be able to show up and try to do something good that involves others or is beyond me just hiding in my room. So writing has been great because I can kind of do both, right? I can kind of be writing in my little room and then I can come out into the world and then I can try to do something good. And that's even where I got the strength to show up today, because what I was writing about today, I'm about to send an email out, is I wanted to write about fear. I wanted to write about, I'm scared. I'm scared of what I see happening right now. I'm scared of what I'm seeing, the way people are talking to each other. I don't like it. I don't like it. And it's not even about whatever they're talking about. It's about the fact that they're talking about it in such a way that it is really mean. And I don't like to see it. It doesn't make me feel safe. And I'm seeing more posts by writers out there, and I'm seeing more posts where people are talking about, wow, I'm feeling really bad about myself as a writer. I don't even know if I can write. and I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm feeling frozen, I'm feeling crappy, I'm feeling like all my rating is shit, and so I'm shit. And like all of this stuff is the way that our minds can respond when we're scared. And those external fears, the things we see in our environment, things we see around us, being scared about that or picking up on tensions around that can increase our own inner critic and can increase our own inner bad-mouthing ourselves. Okay? And it's almost like a way to be in control, that like, I'm going to do it before someone else can do it. I'm going to attack myself before someone else takes me down. And then I have a little bit of control and a little bit of safety psychologically. But is it really useful? No, it's not. It's not great. It's not a great coping mechanism. I'm sure it does its job on some level, but like, obviously, I don't think anyone wants to continue in this vein. So where do we go from there? How do we get out of that? How do you get out of that? Okay, so what I found is that listen, taking pauses and self-care and doing things you need to do is totally fine. And again, I don't give a shit about social media activism. It's great. Other people do that. Go for it. Cool. But like, I'm not one of those people that's like pointing fingers at folks being like, hey, I don't see you saying enough about XYZ topic, so I'm mad at you. No, I don't like that environment. I understand it to a degree, and I definitely show up and say stuff, but like, we need to recognize there's many ways to be of service. There's many ways to make a difference. There's many ways to do good. And we need to stop, let people be who they are. And let people tune into themselves and get their powers up in this crazy ass world that's hard to feel powerful. Let them get their power up and go do something meaningful, and it could be off of the phone. And honestly, I would prefer it because there's many better things to do than be on our phone, right? So like, let's not overblow. One method of being of service is more important than any other kind. Like, seriously, that to me says somebody else hasn't found their power, that they're demanding everyone express that one way. Anyway, so that is the key. Yeah, thanks, Misty. I'm glad you feel the same way. Let them be. Let them just leave people alone. Focus on yourself. You know? And that's the thing is like, I think this is all coming from a place of there's so many people who want to do something good. Maybe some people are criticizing others for that reason. They think they're doing a good thing. But like, seriously, my way of beating fear is to think about the generations to come, to think about what my big purpose is. And I'm not talking about like this next 5 minutes or even today or even, you know, this month, you know, or even the next 5 years. I'm talking about like the people, like if you think about it, over the course of human history, how many people have been the generations in front of you? Like, how many grandmothers have your grandmothers had? How many grandfathers have your grandfathers had? Like, there have been many, 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 many people traversing this earth. And I love you, Misty. I just saw your comment. There's been many people traversing this earth, and like, I don't even know all their names. Like, I could look it up, but it's not essential for me to know all their names. It's just that I know that they were there. I know that they were there, and I know they did something to ensure the survival of somebody else, because like, I'm here. So like, that was an impact that was made, that was tangible over generations. And I think that every one of us, there's something that we can do that leaves something behind for generations to come. And when you focus on that big picture, it can really help you just like lose the bullshit, lose the minutia, lose all of the criticisms about your every dimple and your every hair out of place and your every comma that should be somewhere else and your every idea that could be said better, and like, get out of your head on the little stuff and like, get into the big picture and start thinking about the people to come, thinking about the generations years from now, like 5 generations from now, hundreds of years from now. Wouldn't it be cool to know that like, these people who are still people, who still have problems, who still have desires that they can't get, that are still probably having struggles, like, they're still people and we're people, just like the people in the past were people. And can we just try to connect to this big picture that like, we all want to be here, we all want to be happy, we all want to be loved, we all are still human. Like, wouldn't it be cool if we can connect over those generations. Like, maybe they'll be saying something similar that I'm saying now to someone else. Like, I don't know who the grandmother of my grandmother was. I don't know who the neighbor of my great grandfather was that really helped him out that one time. I don't know this person, that person, but I just know that there have been people who've helped me get to where I am today. Nameless folks. I don't know who they are, but I'm grateful. Like, maybe there'll be somebody out there one day, generations from now, and like, wouldn't it be cool to try to help them out? And when I try to think big like that, it gives me a strength inside. It gives me permission to like let the little shit go and just focus on the big stuff. Like, seriously, what are you here on this planet to do? I don't really think it's just to be focusing on Facebook. Personally, I don't know. As some people maybe, but like, there's other shit to do here. And we need to stop wasting our energy on fighting people and fighting ourselves and tap into something bigger. So I have a little clip of a class that I did where there's like a meditation to help get you really clear on this whole concept of like connecting to the change that you're here to make, thinking about that big picture of where you fit in like human history, you know, like what are you here to do? What is the world going to miss out on if you sit in fear all day and don't do anything and hide under the covers? Like, I don't want you to miss out on your whole life, you know? Like, I know you can take a minute, but like eventually you got to come out and like play with us and do something cool. I'm stoked about it. So I decided to make this little clip of the video available, and I'm gonna share it. I think it's in my blog link, my bio link, and it's just called it's like the change you were here to make, and it's just like a free class. So I have that available for anybody that wants to go a little deeper on this, and there's a meditation and a little journaling exercise to help you get a sense of what you're here to do. And if it just helps you out right now, if you're not feeling good, not feeling stoked to be here, this planet right now, I feel you. I've been there. I get it. But this is the kind of stuff that helps me pop out and just keep going and take the next step. And like, don't let the haters get you down, as they say. And thanks, Misty, for popping by. I'm glad we could share. And you're giving me energy. You're giving me happiness. That we can all be on team. Let people be. Let people worry about yourself. Team worry about yourself. I feel like we need t-shirts. Yeah, I love it. So cool. So I'm going to wrap this up just to keep it short, and have a great day. Again, I got a link in my bio about that free class if you want to check it out. And take care of yourself. Big hugs.